All right, we are on the record. We are on the record now. May I have Diamond Coleman, CM 302-308?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Ms. Coleman. How are you today?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Great. Ms. Coleman, it looks like last time you were here, you had an attorney with you. Do you still have that attorney?
I'm not sure. He is leaving firms and his retainer is much more than it was before, so I can no longer afford him.
Who is your attorney?
William O'Donnell.
All right, let me check and see if he has filed any motions. But it is your decision to move forward without an attorney?
I can. I know there was discovery involved. I know from my awareness, he did not get a chance to take a look at that. So I don't really know what's really going on besides property damage.
So I am not seeing any motion to withdraw having been filed. A couple of options today. Number one, we can continue your case. Let me just ask for the record. Is Mr. William O'Donnell in the line? We can continue your case for you to try to talk to your attorney. Ms. Coleman, you have the right to obviously fire an attorney whenever you choose to do that. If you are choosing to move forward without an attorney, you can waive your right to have counsel and talk to the prosecutor about your case today, or you can certainly enter a not guilty plea. How would you like to proceed?
Is there any way I can talk to a prosecutor today?
Yes, I'll make a note that you are waiving your right to have an attorney, and you will get an invite to join a breakout room with the prosecutor. He does have other folks in the queue, so it might be just a few minutes, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. What you need? Mr. Lobato is next. Michael Lobato, CM 282-558. Michael Lobato. Thank you.
Is that what I think it is? Or speaking to it?
No, so you can hear her.
It's my ear.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lobato. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. No, that's there for sanitation purposes.
Oh, okay.
All right. Mr. Lobato, did you have the opportunity to watch the rights advisement video?
Yes.
Did you have any questions about those rights?
All kinds of questions.
What's your first question?
Well, I couldn't understand it.
Well, would you like to have a written advisement, or would you like me to go over those with you again right now?
No, let's see what happens. If I have any more questions.
Okay.
We'll deal with it as it comes around. Okay.
Well, that's number one thing I need to make sure is that you understand your rights. So I'm going to go ahead and go through those with you now. Number one, you have the right to remain silent. We are on the record. Anything you say could be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. You can apply for the public defender, and if you qualify, an attorney would be appointed to represent you for free. You have the right to plead guilty or not guilty. Any plea that you enter must be voluntary and not the result of any undue influence or coercion. You have the right to understand the charges that you're charged with. If you plead not guilty, you have the right to a speedy and a public trial. At that trial, you would have the right to cross-examine any witness called against you and the right to bring witnesses of your own. You would have the right to have subpoena forms issued by the court to compel the attendance of witnesses. You would also have the right to testify or to remain silent on your own behalf. If you were convicted at trial, you would have the right to appeal. Let me read to you the charge you're facing. You are facing one charge of inoperable vehicle, one charge of outdoor storage prohibited, one charge of unclassified uses, and one charge of parking on an unapproved surface. You are presumed innocent of each of those charges. The maximum penalty that may be imposed on those charges is a fine of up to $2,650 and up to 364 days of jail. If you have ever served in the United States military, you may be entitled to certain services in regard to mental health or substance use disorder, and the court can provide you some information about that. Do you have any questions?
Well, right now, I am 100% service connected.
Excellent.
Okay. I served in Vietnam 53 years ago.
Thank you for your service.
But I can't. I'm being treated for the disorder. I'm being
Okay.
treated for PTSD, amongst other things. And this complaint, I collect cars.
Okay. So
I like to collect cars.
I understand.
I didn't know that that's deep in me. I have no idea.
Okay.
The complaint. I have a few cars in my backyard.
So what we can't do yet is talk about the facts of the case. And that's because if I hear a trial, the court is supposed to come into the trial unbiased. And I don't want to know anything ahead of time from either party about the facts so that I come in without any kind of bias at all. But what I do want to talk with you about is your options.
Okay.
So option number one is I will appoint a public defender to represent you if you would like to have some legal advice. Option two is you can plead guilty today as you stand here without an attorney and you can be sentenced. Option three is you could enter a not guilty plea and set your case for a trial if you intend to represent yourself or hire an attorney.
Could we, ask for a postponement? 'Cause,
Yes.
I'm trying to, as we speak, cut down my collection.
Okay. So would you like to continue the case and would you like for me to, would you like me to appoint a public defender to assist you?
I would.
All right.
If that's possible.
Yes. All right,
Hello.
Mr. Lovato, I am going to continue your case. I'm appointing the public defender. I want you to go to the clerk's window and you're going to get a written reminder of your court date.
Well, it's gonna be what, a month or so?
Probably. Yeah, probably a month or so.
No,
Any questions?
no. Perhaps when I see you again.
All right, I may be here, I may not. If not, have a good day. It was nice meeting you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Can I take this?
No, it only works here and somebody else might need it. We'll have it for you next time, though. All right. Emiliano Ayala Gallegos, EM 8633. I think your attorney is talking with the prosecutor still. I don't see him in the call.
I need you to go sit in your room.
Mr.
Seriously.
Ayala, go ahead and have a
Okay,
seat.
go sit in your room.
Ms. Coleman, we can hear you. I'm going to have you take a seat as soon as Mrs. Starkovich gets back in here. I'll call you back up. Jose Roberto Diaz, EM 8216. Good afternoon. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement video that you reviewed? All right, and I'm just opening up your case. It looks like you have a ticket here from March 8th for animal running at large. The prosecutor has indicated that if you plead guilty to that charge, he would be recommending a fine only. You have the option of pleading not guilty, setting a trial, or requesting a continuance, or you can plead guilty today. Do you know how you would like to proceed?
Plead guilty.
All right, has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty? Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision? Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you are giving up the right to have an attorney represent you? Do you understand you're giving up the right to have a trial and have the city prove the case against you beyond a reasonable doubt? Do you understand that you'd be giving up the right to confront witnesses called against you and the right to bring witnesses of your own? Do you understand that you'd be giving up the right to testify or to remain silent? Do you understand that you would give up the right to appeal? The maximum penalty that could be imposed against you is a fine of up to $2,650 and up to 364 days of jail. Do you understand that your guilty plea could affect any probation, parole, or immigration issue that you may be facing? The charge of animal at large says no owner of any animal shall fail to keep such animal on the premises of the owner unless such animal is under the control of the owner under one of the following conditions. The animal is on a leash, cord, or chain no longer than 10 feet in length and held by a competent person who is able to physically control the animal and maintain physical control of the animal. Or number two, within a vehicle confined to ensure that the animal will not escape and without access to passersby. Do you understand the charge of animal running at large? And have you ever served in the U.S. military? Do you agree that you had an animal running at large on March 8th, 2022 in the area 5990 Dahlia Street in Commerce City, Colorado? How do you plead to that charge? Guilty or not guilty? Thank you. I accept your guilty plea and I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Just going to take a moment to look at the report. Thank you, ma'am. Do you know how Max got out?
Broke the fence.
Have you fixed the fence?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever had a ticket like this before? All right, Mr. Diaz, the court is going to impose the minimum fine, which is $40. There is a $20 court cost, a $9 fuel charge, and a 30% surcharge. That brings your total to $71. Are you able to pay that today? Okay, so I'm going to make a note that you need a payment arrangement. I want you to stop at the clerk's window. She's going to talk to you there. He or she will talk to you there about those payment options. Do you have any questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Diaz. Have a good rest of your day. I'm actually faster writing it instead of typing it. That's fine. Mr. Sarkovich, are you ready on Mr. Ayala Gallegos?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Come on back up, sir. And Mr. Ayala Gallegos appears out of custody at the podium. Mr. Sarkovich appearing virtually. Looks like we are set for a pretrial conference today. Are we just setting over?
Yes, Judge. It's basically a de facto deferred prosecution off the record. So we're going to ask for 6 to 8 weeks. The prosecutor is going to request 24 hours of community service and a violence is preventable
Okay,
class, and then the prosecutor will consider to dismiss the case at that time.
gotcha. It wasn't clear that that's what you're doing. All right, so what we're gonna do, Mr. Ayala, is we're gonna continue your case for about 60 days. The purpose of that is to give you time to complete the conditions that the city is requiring in exchange for dismissal of your case. Those conditions are 24 hours of community service, a 1-day violence is preventable class, and a 300-word essay about what you've learned in the class. You are to have no further criminal violations. You are to abide by a restraining order for the benefit of Alfredo Vega and Belia Berciaga. Is that your understanding of the terms and conditions? Okay. All right, one moment. All right, Mr. Ayala, before you leave today, you are going to stop at the window to get information on how to complete the community service. You're going to get a form that needs to be filled out. That form needs to have good contact information for whoever that you work for, because we do call and verify that it has been done. Your community service needs to be done at a nonprofit organization like church, school, ARC, Goodwill, food bank, animal shelter, something like that. Any questions about that part? The violence is preventable class is a 1-day class that can either be completed in person or online. You can sign up for that class as soon as you are able. It is set on your schedule with whichever class works best for you. It is your responsibility to provide the completion certificate to your attorney so that he can provide that to the court. Any questions about that? The restraining order that I'm going to enter does not prohibit contact. I'm going to read you the terms and conditions of that in a moment. All right, so for the benefit of Alfredo Vega and Belia Berciaga, I am ordering that you not harass, molest, intimidate, retaliate against, or tamper with any witness to or victim of the acts you are charged with committing, including Alfredo Vega and Belia Berciaga. Any questions about this restraining order? Any violation of the restraining order or failure to comply with the terms of your agreement means that the prosecutor could still continue to go forward against you on the case. Violation of my order on the restraining order could also result in the filing of a new charge against you. Any questions about that? All right, Mr. Starkovich, anything further on Mr. Ayala Gallegos' case?
Judge, can we reset the review date or another pretrial date?
Oh, yes, on your calendar, sorry. Can we get a date in about 60 days? We have May 25th or 26th.
Judge, I'm in a 2-day jury trial in Arapahoe County. I'm not sure if it's going to go, but I don't want to jam myself up. Is there another date available?
Yeah, no problem. Can we look at the next week? June 8th or 9th?
June 9th, Your Honor, please.
All right, so your next court date, Mr. Ayala, is going to be June 9th, 2022, and that will be at 1:15 p.m. I want you to make sure that you remain in good continued communication with your attorney between now and then. I'll have you stop at the window, get all that information you need, and a written copy of that next court date. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm also here on Miss Rusk, but can we get a breakout room?
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, with just the two. Eric Haig, EM 5139.
Good afternoon, Judge. Oscar Verdias for defendant Eric Maxwell Haig, who appears over Zoom.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Thank you. And I do see both of you. When I'm looking to the side, it's because my screen's there, so I can see you both here. All right. And it looks like this is a first advisement. Do you waive any further reading and advisement?
Would waive, Judge.
All right. Mr. Haig, it looks like the prosecutor is offering, or you and the prosecutor are agreeing to continue your case to complete certain terms and conditions in exchange for a dismissal of your case. Those conditions would be that you complete 24 hours of community service, a 1-day petty theft class. You would have an order to not enter the property at the Walmart, a no contact order, and you would have no further violations during the time that your case is open. So long as you comply with those terms and conditions, then your case will be dismissed. Once it is dismissed, it would then become eligible for sealing. There is a petition that you have to file and a $65 sealing fee. But as long as you do those things, then at the end, or that your case would be sealed, you would then be able to legally say that the record does not exist. Any questions about that?
No, Your Honor.
And is this how you'd like to proceed, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So as you heard me explain, what we're going to do is continue the case for about 2 months to give you the time to complete those things. You will get an email, your attorney will get an email from my clerk with all of the requirements for the community service, as well as the class requirement. When you sign up for the class, you may either complete that in person or online. It is your responsibility to print out and provide a copy of the certificate of completion to the court. Your community service needs to be done at a nonprofit organization like church, school, ARC, Goodwill, something like that. And you will need to get good information for whoever that you work for. Do you have any questions about that?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I am ordering that you not enter the property at the Walmart at 5990 Dahlia Street. That does last until the final disposition of the case, so until the case is closed. We are going to provide that next court date to you now. We were looking at May 25 and 26. Do either of those days work for you, counsel?
25 works for me in the morning. I got weld all afternoon.
Let me see if we can accommodate that. Yes, in the morning? We can do 8:30 or 10.
8:30 works.
Great. So May 25th, that's 2/5 at 8:30 a.m. We can continue to make that a Zoom appearance if that's what both of you would like. Do either of you have any questions?
Yeah, we'd like to keep it virtual, Judge. Thanks.
All right, I'll make a note. Thank you both. Have a good rest of your day.
You too, Judge.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Brennan Broadcast Easton, CM 303-635. Good afternoon, sir. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement video that you watched? All right, and you have you are here today because we had previously continued your case for you to comply with certain conditions in exchange for a dismissal. It looks like you have done that. You have paid your share of the restitution, is that right? I am granting the city's motion to dismiss. You are now eligible to file that petition to seal. It is not a requirement, just an option for you. If you file the petition and pay the $65 sealing fee, and the court grants that order, which it typically does do, then you can legally say that the record does not exist. Do you have any questions about that? If you need a copy of the dismissal or need more information about the sealing, you can stop at the clerk's window. Otherwise, you're free to go. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks. Larry Cisneros III, CM 303217, EM 10117.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Hi, Ms Hutton.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
I'm not following you around, I promise.
I'm not following you around either.
Well, there you go. I'm just enough in the same places.
All right. Is Mr. Cisneros with us?
I don't see him on Zoom at all. He was going to try to get signed on, but I don't know if he's there or not. I don't think so. He wasn't when I was talking to Mr. Gollin.
He hasn't registered and he is not in the courtroom. All right. Have you had any contact with him?
Yeah, I actually spoke with him this morning.
Okay.
So I'm surprised he's not here.
What do you think he was intending to appear virtually or appear in the courtroom?
Well, he said if he couldn't get Zoom to work that he was going to appear in the courtroom, but I don't know. I haven't talked to him since early, so.
I think the case was set at 1:15. Let me just check. Yeah, 1:15. So we're at 1:45. I'm happy to give him more time. Of course, I want to be mindful of yours. So it's up to you. I can enter the FTA now, or we can wait a little bit.
Why don't you give me a little more time and I'll try to call him and see if I can get him to.
All right. Let me
Check
know
in.
if I'm just sitting here, pop on and let me know you're ready.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Brandon Arroyo, CM 302458. Hi, Mr. Arroyo. I think I looked at your case this morning. You sent in an email asking for more time. Is that right? Maybe I'm thinking of somebody different. Hang on a sec. You did. Okay. You didn't send it. You sent an email to the court, right? Saying you got your class done, but you needed more time on community service. I swear it was you, but I could be making that up. Let me see. Because I don't see you on my docket anymore, which makes me think that
Pre-trial for today.
it was, but he requested a motion to continue and I granted that.
Yeah, well, here he is.
Let me just make sure the order is in there for the record. So there's an email
Is it
from Michelle Wickersheim.
I sent the certificate to my mom, to email to you guys.
I see.
It was on the computer. She must have just typed in some extra stuff and not told me.
Oh, moms, I would totally do that too. I can't say I wouldn't. All right, so you do need more time for community service. All right. I am granting your continuance. We're going to give you about 30 more days to get that done. I'm going to have you stop at the window to get that next court date. Make sure if you don't still have the form that you get another copy of that so that you can get that filled out properly. Any questions?
No.
And I'm not sure, let me make sure we received your proof of the class. Yes, we have. All right, so you're good to go there. Go ahead and stop at the window to get that next court date.
All right,
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too. All right, recalling Diamond Coleman, CM 302308.
Hi.
Hi, Ms. Coleman. All right, and so it looks like you did talk to the prosecutor.
Yes.
Since you were with an attorney last time, I just want to ask you, do you have any questions about the rights that you have today?
No, ma'am.
All right, so you've met with the prosecutor. The two of you have come to an agreement to continue your case to give you time to complete certain conditions in exchange for a dismissal. Those conditions would be that you complete 16 hours of community service. You would take a one-day adult making better choices class. You would abide by a restraining order for the benefit of Shalana Parker. You would have no further violations for a period of 12 months. Restitution would remain open until the pretrial conference date. Restitution is any out-of-pocket expenses that the victim of the incident may have incurred as a result of the incident. Is this your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you fail to abide by this agreement, then the prosecutor could go forward against you on this case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, one moment. I'm just going to make a note about your attorney.
Okay.
All right, so Ms. Coleman, the community service that you have to complete 16 hours needs to be done at a nonprofit organization like church, school, ARC, Goodwill, a food bank, something like that. You're
Okay.
going to get a form in your email to fill out for whoever that you work for. You need to make sure that you get good contact information because we do call and verify that it has been done.
Okay.
You will also get in the class information. You'll take the adult making better choices class. It might be called discovering better choices. It's one of those two. You can either complete that in person or online.
Okay.
It is your responsibility to make sure that you provide the proof of completion of both the community service and the class to the court. Any questions about that?
No, ma'am, not at all.
All right. I am issuing a restraining order for the benefit of Shalana Parker. This restraining order does not prohibit contact. So if you saw her at the store, no problem. If you're at functions that are the same, no problem. What it does prohibit is the following. You are not to harass, molest, intimidate, retaliate against, or tamper with any witness to or victim of the acts you are charged with committing, namely Shalana Parker. Any questions about this protection order?
No, ma'am.
All right. Restitution will remain open until the pretrial conference date. You are going to be receiving an email from the clerk with all of this information. You'll get a sentencing summary. You're not sentenced yet. It'll just come as a summary with all the attached all the attached requirements and a court date. You are required to appear on that court date. If you are complete, that's the day where your case will get dismissed, and then it would be eligible for expungement, or sorry, for sealing. In order to seal, you have to file a petition and pay a $65 sealing fee. But as long as you do that and the court orders the sealing, then you can legally say that the record does not exist. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Coleman. Have a good rest of your day.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Judge Klein?
Yes, ma'am.
I called and I didn't get an answer and he hasn't called me back, so
Okay.
I'm guessing we
All
could just
right.
go ahead. Seemed like you were waiting, so I thought I'd
Oh, no,
jump
I
in.
was just typing. I don't have anybody
Oh.
else, so totally fine for you to
Okay.
let me know. Let me call his cases again back on the record in Larry Cisneros. CM 303217, EM 10117. Mr. Cisneros was ordered to appear this afternoon at 1:15. It is now 1:54. He has failed to appear. I'm noting that there is a setting slip that does have today's date and time. The court is going to issue a bench warrant in case 303217. Let me take a look at the history. There is no history. It's a shoplifting case. The value is less than $50. The court is going to issue a $500 personal recognizance bond.
Hi, that's me. That's me. I'm sorry. I'm here.
You're Larry Cisneros?
Oh, I'm sorry. I could have swore you said Terry.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's
Sorry.
okay. I bet you were worried when I started
I
to
was.
issue a warrant.
Yeah, my heart raced. Sorry.
No problem. Sorry. I don't have any other files yet, so I'm just waiting for everybody to have the opportunity to talk to the prosecutor.
Oh, no worries. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry.
That's okay. Just reviewing Mr. Cisneros's criminal history. It's got a ton of theft cases on there. Oh goodness, I'm not seeing a dollar amount on the summons.
Hi, Judge. This is Crystal Vasquez. I just want to make sure I was still in line to be seen, right?
Everybody that's in line
you're
or that is on this call has been checked in. We have one prosecutor and he has to talk with every person individually, so he's getting to people as he can.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So which one are
All
you?
right, so I'm checking, so this is the second case, which is the
EM one?
the EM 10117. There
I think-
is a summons. There is no alleged dollar amount on the summons. I've opened the probable cause statement. It looks like the dollar amount there is $19.37.
Yeah.
Both of these would be mandatory PR bonds after 48 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and start out with a PR on each of them. If he
Okay.
fails to appear again, he's not going to get a PR to start with.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Hutton.
Thank you very much. We'll see you
Have a
soon.
good rest of your day.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
All right, and just hang tight, everybody. We are just still waiting on files. Mr. Jernigan, are you ready on your cases?
Yes, Judge, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you. Are any of your clients here?
No, Judge, I'd be requesting a waiver of appearance on each of these. I guess there's 3 of them, so each of them.
No problem. All right, we'll start with David Ravello Jones, EM 4710.
And for the record, this is Hayden Jernigan, 54160. I'm appearing on behalf of Revillo Jones, Mr. Revillo Jones, excuse me.
Thank you. And it looks like Mr. Ravello Jones is being offered a reduction to a 2-point defective vehicle charge. Would he like to accept that offer?
Yes, Judge, I do have authority to accept that offer on his behalf, and I have advised him of his rights that he'd be waiving in exchange for that plea.
All right, and you do have authority to enter a plea on his behalf.
Yes, Judge.
I think you already just said that as I was writing and not paying attention to you. My apologies.
No,
All
no,
right.
you're fine, Judge.
And you've talked with each of your clients about the rights they have, the rights they give up by pleading guilty, and the collateral consequences of potential points.
Yes, Judge, to all
How
3.
does, thank you. How does Mr. Ravello plead to the 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle on March 3rd, 2022 at 112th and Chambers in Commerce City, Colorado?
Guilty.
Thank you. I accept that guilty plea. Find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Anything in regard to sentencing on this case?
Judge, nothing further on this case.
All right, let me take a look at his driving record. Looks like this one was a pretty serious accident. One person was injured. Was that your client or one of the other vehicles?
It was the other party involved, Judge.
All right, so I am following Judge Juarez's old sentencing standards. So I'm imposing a $200 fine. There are $20 of court costs, $9 fuel charge, 30% surcharge. That comes to a total of $289. Is 2 weeks stay of execution enough?
2 weeks should be sufficient, Judge. That's what I would have asked for.
Perfect. Stay of execution for 2 weeks. The sentencing summary will come to your office, Mr. Jernigan, if you'll forward that on to your client.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Next calling Alyssa Winter, EM 14033.
Hayden Jernigan on behalf of Miss Winter.
Thank
And
you.
Judge, similarly, we do have a proposed plea disposition. I do have authority to accept that on Miss Winter's behalf. It's for a 2-point defective vehicle.
Thank you. And how does Ms. Winter plead to the 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle on March 5th, 2022 in the 9100 block of Highway 2 in Commerce City, Colorado?
Guilty.
Thank you. I accept that plea. Find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made with full authority. Anything in regard to sentencing on this case?
Yes, Judge, just briefly, Miss Winter did go out and proactively complete an ISAE level 1 course, and she's employed as an HR assistant. And at the time of the incident, she was supporting her husband at a jiu-jitsu tournament. Beyond that, Judge, there's nothing further.
All right. So it looks like she does have one other ticket in the last couple of years. Normally the fine would be $160. I'm going to go ahead and reduce it to $100 since she took the class. 20 surcharge, $9 fuel charge, 20 court costs, $9 fuel charge, 30% surcharge. And one moment, I can tell you what that is.
Thank you, Judge. My math is awful.
I know, me too. I use calculator. I like words, not numbers. That's why I'm a lawyer.
Yep, likewise.
All right, so that comes to, that's not right. Hang on. 159. And stay of execution on that one for 2 weeks as well.
2 weeks. Thank you.
Anthony Pastillo, EM 14034.
And Judge, just for the record, this is Hayden Jernigan. I've got Anthony Portillo.
All right, and Mr. Portillo is not with us. We are waiving his appearance for entry of the plea today. Mr. Jernigan has consent.
And I do have authority to accept that 2-point defective vehicle offer.
Thank you. And how does Mr. Portillo plead to the 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle on March 7th, 2022 in the 9300 block of Tower Road in Culver City, Colorado?
Guilty.
Thank you. I accept that guilty plea. Find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made after full advisement. Anything in regard to sentencing here?
Yes, Judge, just briefly, Mr. Portillo is employed as a truck driver, commercial truck driver. He had also taken an ISAE level 1 responsible driver's course. And in addition, just on a factual matter, he was worried about the vehicle in front of him was swerving and making erratic movements, what he thought to be a DUI driver. And so he felt that it was more prudent to increase speed and avoid this driver than to continue traveling behind him. Beyond that, Judge, there's nothing further.
Gotcha. All right, Mr. Portillo did complete the class. I see that he's never had a ticket before. Normally the fine would be also $160. I'm going to reduce it to $80 since he's never had a ticket. There are 20 court costs, $9 fuel charge, 30% surcharge. That comes to a total of $133. I will give a stay of execution for 2 weeks on this. Anything further, Mr. Jernigan?
That's all my cases. I appreciate your time. It's
Thank
great seeing
you.
you again. And
Nice to see
stay
you.
safe out there.
You too. Bye-bye. Who I can't tell who's speaking, but whoever that is, I can't understand you. Whoever is speaking, I can't understand you. You might need to hang up and dial back in. All right, calling Danielle Winkler, EM 4317.
For Ryan Chavez, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi, Ms. Winkler. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement video that you watched? All right, ma'am. And you have a ticket here. If I can get that to open, hang on. This is from March 2nd. It is a charge of theft. The prosecutor and yourself have come to an agreement to continue your case, to give you opportunity to complete certain conditions in exchange for a dismissal of your case. Those conditions are that you complete 16 hours of community service, a 1-day petty theft class, and a 300-word essay about what you've learned in the class. You would be abiding by a no contact order for the benefit of Walmart for a period of 12 months, and you are to have no new violations during the time that your case is open. Is this your understanding of the agreement? All right, one moment. So what's going to happen is you are going to receive a continuance. You're going to get all the information that you need about the community service and the class at the window. It is your responsibility to turn in proof of the community service and the class. Your community service needs to be done at a nonprofit organization like church, school, ARC, Goodwill, something like that. And you need to get good contact information for whoever that you work for. Yeah, oh, actually, you'll turn that in with the class certificate. Usually they make you do it as a part of the class. So you'll print those two things at the same time. All right, I am ordering that you not enter the Walmart property at 5990 Dahlia Street for 12 months. I usually only order for the city that the event occurred in, or for the location that the event occurred in, unless it's somebody that is a frequent flyer, as I call them. It doesn't look like you are. All right. So as long as we are able to dismiss the case at your next court date, you would then be eligible to file a petition to seal. Sealing would mean that you could legally say that the record does not exist. There is a $65 fee and you have to file a petition to do that. But once it is ordered, then you can tell somebody that it never happened. Any questions about that? So you're going to stop at the window, get those class, community service, copy of the next court date. Thank you very much and have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
I just called Patty. She's gonna sign back on.
Oh, wonderful. Well, they need a breakout room.
Yes. Thanks.
Welcome back, Ms. Hutton.
Thank you.
My clerk is going to create a breakout room for you to talk to Mr. Cisneros.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we have to figure out where to find an extra laptop.
Does it have a Zoom capability?
Maybe not.
Okay.
Tommy Palikwa,
Yes,
9690. Good afternoon.
good afternoon.
All right, ma'am. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement video or form that you reviewed?
No,
All right. Are you doing okay?
I am, I'm working through this, yes.
All right. So you have a ticket here for harassment by communication on February 25th. The prosecutor is indicating that he is dismissing your case today. I will grant that motion to dismiss. Your case is now eligible for sealing. You do have to file a petition and pay a $65 sealing fee. If you would like to seal the case, you are not required to. It is just an option. If you do file that petition and pay the fee and the court orders the sealing, then you can legally say that the record does not exist. Any questions about that?
No, I just want to say thank you both for your time.
You are welcome, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You're welcome. It's good.
Jacob is ready with this.
Line Jacqueline Rusk, 2021. Oh, sorry, CM 303-924.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jacob Starkovich, attorney registration 32184, appearing on behalf of Ms. Rusk. Judge, I know she's signed in. She was having audio problems and video problems. I could see her, but I couldn't hear her. But when she turned off her video, you can hear her. So if the court, because we're going to ask the court to accept a disposition. So if the court wants to see her, have her get viewed and then allow her to shut her video off so that we can hear her.
All right, Ms. Rusk, can you pop your video on real quick, and then I'll have you turn it back off so that we can get good audio.
Okay, hold on one second.
Hi, Ms.
Hello.
Rusk.
Hi.
All right, go ahead and keep your audio or your video off so that the audio comes through.
Okay.
All right, so it looks like the proposed disposition in the case, Ms. Rusk, is that you would be pleading guilty to a charge of theft. The prosecutor is essentially leaving this sentence up to the court, other than to ask that the court impose a no contact order for the benefit of Walmart. And they would not object to in-home detention if the court imposes a jail sentence. Anything that you want to expound on that, Mr. Starkovich?
Judge, it was just contemplated that it would be in-home detention if a punitive sanction was imposed. Is what we thought was the agreement, but we understand that that's completely open to.
And there's also a case number listed here, 22 CR 1222. Is that a case that there is a sentence pending on?
Judge, it's an open case in Denver County. If the court looks back, the last time Ms. Rusk was scheduled to be in court, she was in custody in Denver County. So we were just identifying for the court that that's where she was last time. We confirmed that she was in custody on that case, and she's fighting that case and going to plead not guilty on that case.
Okay. All right. Ms. Rusk, do you understand that the maximum penalty that could be imposed against you is a fine of up to $2,650 and up to 364 days of jail?
I do.
All right. Has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
They have not.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you are giving up all of the rights that you have in the case? That includes the right to have a trial.
I do.
Do you understand that you're giving up the right to confront any witness that is called against you and the right to bring witnesses of your own?
I do.
Do you understand that you're giving up the right to testify on your own behalf or to remain silent?
Yes.
Do you understand that you'd be giving up the right to appeal?
Yes.
Do you understand the maximum penalties that I have indicated to you, and that because of those penalties, your guilty plea could affect any probation, parole, or immigration issue that you may be facing?
Yes.
Have you ever served in the U.S. military?
No, ma'am.
The charge of theft says it's unlawful to knowingly obtain or exercise control over anything of another by threat or deception or without authorization with the intent to permanently deprive the other person of the use or benefit of the thing of value, and that thing of value is less than $200, less than $2,000. Do you understand the charge of theft?
Yes.
Do you agree that you committed the offense of theft on February 25th? Nope, that's wrong. Sorry, that's the wrong ticket.
November 15th.
November 15th, 2021, in the area of 5990 Dahlia Street in Commerce City, Colorado.
Yes.
How do you plead to that charge, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea and I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Give me one moment to review the report. All right, anything in regard to sentencing, Mr. Starkovich?
Judge, I'd ask the court to consider doing a suspended sentence on Ms. Rusk and having her complete no further violations for 1 year. To be brutally honest with the court, Judge, Ms. Rusk has a lot going on with her life right now. She is on probation for a couple cases, drug related, motor vehicle related, out of Larimer County. She's placed on a 3-year probation, and she was at the Oxford House. It was a sober living facility. Turned out it wasn't the best place for her to be. There were some women there that were violating, and she left and got caught up with a couple of them, and that's where the new Denver case came from. So with that, she has her probation revoked in Larimer County, and those are just pending. She spent, I'll let her talk because I don't exactly know the date, but I know she spent a good amount of time in jail. It looks like from March 3rd to April 9th, I believe. So just over a month in jail. on that Denver case, I know we're not asking necessarily for credit, but I'm just explaining to the court that she did spend time in jail recently. She is on a probation revoke status. And just for the record, I did explain to Ms. Rusk that since this theft case occurred while she was actually on probation in Larimer, they could actually use this conviction now as a violation of probation as well. Although it doesn't appear they've done it yet, but they could. So she potentially faces serving additional time or having her bond revoked for her probation. She had to post a bond. She just bonded out 5 days ago for the probation case, revocation cases. So she is going to ask for in-home detention if the court imposes any punitive sanctions. We're going to ask for a stay of execution of at least 3 weeks, Judge, because when she bonded out, she really doesn't have a place to go at this point in time. She is employed, thankfully. She still has her employment, but the Oxford house isn't a place for her. She's living with a friend right now. She just wants to make sure that she's able to serve there. If not, she's going to have to find a place to serve the in-home detention. So we're going to ask for a stay of execution. As far as her probation, she doesn't have any other technical violations, Judge. She was doing well at the Oxford house, minus the bad environment there, and then picking up a new case out of Denver. But she is taking 3 UAs a week. And again, she's on probation for about another 2 years already. So she does have a lot, but would ask the court to take that into consideration and also waive any fines and costs that are permitted to be waived. Thank you.
All right, anything that you would like to say, Ms. Rusk, before I impose the sentence?
No, Your Honor, I think my attorney covered it all.
All right. Ms. Rusk, I did review the police report. I have reviewed your criminal history. It is not good. You have a lot going on, and it sounds like treatment is really what is in order here. And it sounds like that's sort of the road that we're heading down. And so I don't want to necessarily add a jail sentence to your plate because I think treatment is the better way to go. But I also think that a jail sentence is a valid sentence for this case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to impose 90 days of jail. I'm going to suspend 90 days on condition that you complete 30 days of in-home detention. You are to have no new criminal violations for 12 months. And you are to be excluded and have a no contact order for the benefit of the Walmart at 5990 Dahlia Street. I'm going to waive your fines and costs so that you can hopefully afford the in-home detention. The in-home detention is a means to, number one, impose a penalty on the case, but also number two, to ensure that you are staying out of trouble for that 30 days. Anything that you can do that is positive in those cases that you have a revo filed on right now is going to be beneficial to you. I am going to give you a stay of execution on hooking up with the in-home detention until May 11th, 2022 at 1 p.m. If you have not hooked up at that time, you must appear at this courthouse. If you fail to do that, a warrant will issue for your arrest. If a warrant issues, you will be looking at the 90 days in the Adams County Jail. Do you have any questions about this sentence?
May 11th at what time?
By 1 p.m. on May 11th, you must be hooked up.
Okay, and where do I go to do that?
You are going to get instructions. My clerk will send those instructions to your attorney by email. He will forward them to you.
Okay.
And the sooner, the better.
Right.
You need to get the sentence rolling.
Absolutely. I want to get it done. I just need to make sure that I have somewhere stable and a good environment to stay first before I do it. So if I can do it before then, I most definitely will.
Absolutely. All right. Do you have any questions?
I don't.
Anything further, Mr. Starkovich?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you both. Have a good rest of your day.
Well,
I do need to take a brief recess. Thank you.
You're in, John.
Ms. Slider, are you on?
Yes, I am, Your Honor. Can you hear me now?
I can, yes, thank you. I was looking at the chat and saw your question.
Yeah.
Have you previously had a pretrial conference?
So, yes, I have reached time.
Uh-oh, you're breaking up. I'm sorry, Ms. Slider, I can't hear you.
Yes, I had a pretrial.
Not working. I'm so sorry.
But not. Can you hear me?
I hear when you first start, but then it goes to total cutting out.
Oh, gosh. I'm sorry. I'm not sure why it's doing that.
Now I
I'm
can
in a-
hear you. Okay.
Okay, I'll try my best. Sorry. So we had a pre-trial conference last time that we were in court not today.
And who is your client? I'm not seeing him on the docket.
Ryan Chavez.
Is it a hyphenated? I'm sorry. Say
Adams Chavez.
Gotcha. Okay, that's. Let me see. It's on my paper docket, but I don't see it here. Let me see if I can do a search. One moment.
Okay, we did register. I did register for us to be that I don't know if that is under my Adams.
All right, so I do have case CM 303 637 Ryan Adams.
Yes.
Ryan Adams Chavez. And it looks like, oh, I know why it's not on the docket. You, somebody had actually filed a request for additional time and I granted that. It looks like maybe they did that pro se, so I'm not sure you knew they did that.
I didn't.
Oh, no,
I
you
didn't.
did it.
And okay, yes, but I did request that, Your Honor.
Yes.
And I can let you know he's almost finished with the class, but does need more time with the community service. He does have a place set up.
Okay.
And he's just been working full time, and he's trying to finish a lot of classes online for graduation. So he's just got a lot on his plate right now. So we apologize he's not
Yeah,
finished
that is
yet.
not a problem at all. Do you think 2 to 4 weeks is enough?
Well, needs to get off
Or is 4 weeks better?
on that. 4 would be better. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and continue 4 weeks for the community service, we'll continue that back to the pretrial conference. And so that is going to be a required appearance.
Okay.
I believe. I'm just going back and looking through the court's orders here. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
It's so the conditions were 16 hours of community service, a 1-day Making Better Choices class, restitution to Ernest Martinez in the amount of $235.75, a restraining order for Josiah Martinez, and for a location. Is that what you recall?
Yes, that's correct. And
Okay.
just so Your Honor's aware, Ryan is here with me now. We just had technical issues.
All right.
Pardon?
Hi, Mr. Adams Chavez. Thank you for being here today. So we are going to continue the case for 4 weeks to a new pretrial conference date. We can continue to make that a Zoom hearing. You'll get those instructions for registration. Anything further, Ms. Leitner?
Honor, you cut out a little bit. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Is there anything further? Otherwise, we'll send that new court date by email.
So what date?
It will be sent by email unless you want me to set that now.
No, that's fine. It's fine to set it by email. And I'm just to be specific, I just want to request that we have 1 or 2 weeks past May 11th. I know if it's 4 weeks from today, that's maybe a little bit tight because of the schoolwork.
All right, we'll do 6 weeks.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. So does May 25th at 1:15 work for you?
Yes.
Perfect. May 25th, 1:15 p.m.
Great. We'll be there. Thank you.
Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Taking a break. All right, back on the record on Angel Vega Arcega, EM 15036.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi there. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed?
No, I didn't.
All right, sir. And you have a ticket here from March 8th for disorderly conduct. You and the prosecutor have come to an agreement to continue your case in order to give you time to complete certain conditions in exchange for a dismissal. Those conditions would be that you complete 24 hours of community service. You would take a 1-day violence is preventable class and write a 300-word essay about what you've learned in the class. And you would have a restraining order for the benefit of Serafine Gonzalez Machoro. And have no new violations during the time that your case is open. Is this your understanding of your agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand that if you comply with this agreement, then your case is going to get dismissed? But that if you do not comply with this agreement, then the city can go forward against you on the case, just like they could today.
Okay.
Any questions about that?
The 24-hour community service it could be done anywhere, right?
Your
Considering
community
like a church
service.
for
Yeah, it needs to be done at a nonprofit, just like you said, like church or school or ARC or Goodwill, or a food bank, something like that.
Okay. And the class, where would I take it?
You are going to get instructions about where to take that class by email.
Okay, sounds good.
You'll sign up for it in person or online. It is your responsibility to provide proof of completion of the class and the essay to the court.
Okay. And what about the paper that says I completed my 24 hours?
You're going to get that paper by email as well, and you need to make sure that you get good contact information for whoever that you work for.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, the protection order is for the benefit of Serafine Gonzalez Machoro, and I am ordering that you not harass, molest, intimidate, retaliate against, or tamper with any witness to or victim of the acts you are charged with committing. Do you understand the restraining order?
I do.
All right. Any violation could result in the revocation of this offer, as well as the filing of a new charge against you. You are going to get all the information that you need by email, including your new court date. Do you have any questions?
I don't.
All right. Thank you, sir. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ms. Martinez, are we still waiting on a breakout room for you and your client? Ms. Hutton, are you on?
Yes, sorry.
All right, Mr. Cisneros, come on up to the podium. I am handling a video case from the Adams County Jail for Brighton, and so I might have to interrupt this if the parties come back on, but let's go ahead and get started on Mr. Cisneros's cases. Is this your first appearance with Mr. Cisneros?
No, on a different case, I have appeared with him, but yeah.
Oh, has he been advised on this case is my question again.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Sorry.
All right, that's
I
okay.
didn't know where you were going with that.
No problem. And it looks like there's a plea offer in the case where Mr. Cisneros would plead guilty to theft and trespassing in case EM101, EM10117, case number CM303217 would get dismissed. The prosecutor is recommending a 120-day jail sentence, suspended on condition that Mr. Cisneros completes 30 days of in-home detention, has no further violations for 1 year, and abides by a no contact order for the Walmart and the Family Dollar. Is this the agreement of the parties?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
And is this how you would like to proceed, Mr. Cisneros? Can you hear your attorney okay from the here? All right. And have you had enough time to talk about your rights and options with your attorney? Satisfied with that representation? Has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty? Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision? Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you are giving up all of the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal? Do you understand that you would be giving up the right to have the city prove the case against you beyond a reasonable doubt? Do you understand you give up the right to confront witnesses called against you and the right to bring witnesses of your own? And do you understand that you're giving up the right to testify or to remain silent? The maximum penalty that may be imposed on each of the charges is a fine of up to $2,650 and up to 364 days of jail. Do you understand that your guilty plea could affect any probation, parole, or immigration issue that you may be facing? Have you ever served in the U.S. military? The charge of theft says it's unlawful to knowingly obtain or exercise control over anything of value of another by threat or deception or without authorization, with the intent to permanently deprive the other person of the use or benefit of the thing of value, which must be less than $2,000. Do you understand the charge of theft? The charge of trespassing says it's unlawful to enter or remain upon the premises of another when consent to enter or remain is absent, denied, or withdrawn by the owner or person having lawful control thereof. Do you understand the charge of trespassing? Ms. Hutton, do you waive factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir, how do you plead in case EM10117 to the charge of theft on August 31st, 2021 at 5990 Dahlia Street? And how do you plead to the charge of trespassing on the same date and location? Thank you. I accept your guilty pleas and I find that they are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Case number CM303217 will be dismissed as part of the plea agreement. One moment while I look at the report. All right, anything in regard to sentencing, Ms. Hutton?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I know that case got dismissed, but I'm going to throw a little something in about that. That time he needed some of the things that he took for the job that he was doing, need to finish up his job. And then he was homeless at the time, so the clothing that he took was just to stay warm and be clothed. So now he's living with his parents. He has a job with DoorDash, and oh, I forgot. Yeah, that night he'd been kicked out by his father, but now they're back on track and he's living there and everything's fine. That's why he's going to be able to do in-home detention if that's what you give him. So he's working on DoorDash and trying to do any kind of job that he can get to make some money. He is on probation in Denver for Adams County, but he's talked to his probation officer and hopefully this will not cause any major problems for him for that. So he is, like I said, he does have a home now. He's it's I guess it's not been that, well, since the one he's pleading guilty to, it's been a while since that one, but the other one wasn't so long ago. But anyway, I think things are looking up.
All right, Mr. Cisneros, is there anything that you would like me to know before I impose the sentence?
Supporting my fiance and her 2 children and 2 dogs at my parents' home. And I appreciate the house detention instead of the jail sentence so that I can continue to provide for them.
That's okay.
Being on probation and the jail sentence will definitely affect that, so I appreciate the opportunity.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Cisneros, you do not have a great record. It's not good. You're in a much more stable situation. So now it becomes more of your choice on how you're going to choose to live. Are you going to keep doing all those things even if you don't need to, or are you going to continue in that lifestyle? If you continue in that lifestyle, then we're going to be seeing you at the jail or worse. So you have to take advantage of the situation that you're in now and start making some changes. You're, not a super young person, but you're not that old either. And so you have a lot more life to live. You have to decide how you're going to do it. Good. You need to be an example to them, not a burden to them. All right. I have reviewed your criminal history and the report. And heard from the parties. I am going to abide by the city's recommendation. So I'm going to impose a 120-day jail sentence. I'm going to suspend the entirety of the 120 on condition that you serve 30 days of in-home detention. You are to have no further violations for 12 months. And you are to abide by a restraining order for the benefit of Walmart and Family Dollar. That restraining order requires that you are having no contact at all at those properties. I am specifically excluding you from the Walmart at 5990 Dahlia Street. And one moment while I get the address of the other. And Ms. Hutton, do you have your file open? Is it the one on 72nd or 64th? And from the thank you, the Family Dollar at 6071 East 72nd Avenue. Do you have any questions about these requirements? Tell me about hooking up with your in-home detention. What is your situation right now? Anything from prohibiting you from hooking up within the next 48 hours?
Just my transportation, working on my vehicle right now to try to get that running again.
All right.
I should hopefully have that fixed today.
Hang on. Let me open my calendar. I'm going to give you 2 weeks.
Okay.
Just under 2 weeks because we don't have court on the 28th. So you'll need to hook up with your in-home detention by April 27th at 1 p.m. If you have not, you are ordered to appear here or a warrant will issue. If you haven't hooked up and you fail to appear, you are very likely to serve the 120.
Okay.
Any questions? No. There are, I'm not going to impose a fine. There are $29 of court costs that you'll have to pay. Are you able to pay that today?
Not today, no.
All right, let me make a note and give you time on that. We're going to give you a save execution on your court costs to that same date.
Okay.
Any questions?
Requirements for the requirements for the in-home detention that's going to be provided to me when I hook up. Right?
You're going to stop at the window and get that information today. So you'll know who to contact. It's $11 per day. You'll need to work out the payment arrangement with them. You are not considered complete unless you have paid for the in-home detention. That is part of the penalty.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Is there a curfew with that, or?
You will have to talk to them about your schedule. They will talk to you about how to make sure the monitor is charged up properly. They will talk to you about the reasons that you are allowed to leave the home. And you'll have to make sure that you abide by those. There can't be any last minute things. You have to have everything cleared. Okay, and they'll go through all of that with you. Anything further? All right, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Hutton. Have a good rest of your day.
Okay, thank you very much.
One more thing, I'm sorry. Because CM 303217 is being dismissed, you have the right to file a petition to seal. That sealing fee is $65, but if you do file that, the court will grant the petition to seal. You can legally say that the record does not exist.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Hutton.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Do I have Kendall Mosesek?
Yeah.
Hi there. This is case EM 14037. And did you have any questions about the rights advisement video that you reviewed?
No.
Kendall, any questions?
No.
All right. And one moment while I open up your case. So you have a ticket here for speeding. It is a 6-point violation from March 9th. And Kendall, who did you bring with you today?
My mom.
Hi there. Can I get your name for the record?
It's Crystal Chapin. Chapin.
Oh, Chapin. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, Ms. Chapin, any questions about Kendall's rights? There is an offer in your case to continue the case for you to complete the Alive at 25 driving class in exchange for a reduction to a 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle. Would you like to accept, or would you like to, is this how you would like to handle your case?
Yeah. Yes. And I've
All
already
right.
looked. I got on and
So what we're gonna do, sorry, go ahead.
the next available class for the Alive at 25 is May 14th.
That's the next available Live at 25? Okay.
Yeah.
It can either be done in person or online. If you do the online version, make sure that you click on the Colorado link. But it sounds like you've already done your homework, so you know what to do there. I will continue, I'll have the clerk continue your case until after May 14th to ensure that you have sufficient time to get your certificate of completion. It is your responsibility to have that with you to show the prosecutor at your next hearing so that you become available for that plea offer. Any questions about that?
No.
All right, Kendall, did you have any questions?
No, I did not.
And Mom, any questions?
No, I did not.
All right, you both sound very similar. I have a different screen where I have to look over here, so I can't tell if you both have the same voice. So, all right, we're going to send you that new court date and the information on the Alive at 25 by email. Be on the lookout for that. Thank you for your patience. We have so many people here today. I appreciate that.
No, thank you so much.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, one moment.
Susie, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Let's see. Oh. Susie, Susie, what's wrong, honey? Are you okay? Susie, come here, girl. You want to come sit up here with me? Are you okay? What's the matter? Let me do this.
now?
Back on the record, Terry Fashnet, EM 7216.
Sorry. Hi, how are you?
Hi there, I'm great, thank you. And thank you for your patience, Ms. Fashnet.
Thank you.
Did you have any questions about the rights advisement video that you reviewed?
No, I don't. I'm good.
All right, and you have a ticket here from March 23rd for theft. And it looks like you have met with the prosecutor and reached an agreement with the prosecutor to continue your case for you to complete certain terms and conditions in exchange for a dismissal. Those conditions being that you complete a 1-day petty theft class and write a 300-word essay about what you learned. You are to have no further violations during the time that your case is open. And you are to abide by a no contact order for the benefit of Walmart for a period of 12 months.
Okay.
Is this your understanding of the agreement?
It is.
Do you understand that if you fail to abide by the agreement, then the prosecutor can go forward against you on the case just like he could today?
I do.
Do you understand that if you do complete, your case will be dismissed and would then become eligible for sealing?
I do. I understand.
Did you hear me explain about sealing a few times through this session?
I
Or do you
did.
want me to repeat that? Okay.
Oh, no, you're good. I understood. You're fine. But I
All right.
appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, so we are going to give you a continuance of about 2 months to complete those
Okay.
things, the class and the essay. It is your responsibility to provide proof of completion to the court. You'll get the instructions on how to sign up for that class in the email. I am ordering that you not enter the property at 5990 Dahlia at the Walmart for 12 months. You are to have no further violations during the time that the case is open. Do you have any questions?
I'm sorry. No, I don't. I'm good. I
All right.
understand.
Be on the lookout for that email. It should be
Okay.
coming to you. Oh, there was one thing that the prosecutor wanted to note. He would like to amend the summons and complaint to include the value of the theft as $52.52. Do you have
That's
any
fine.
objection?
No, that's fine.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Have a good rest of your day.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
All right, Susie, let's get you to the vet. Okay. You ready to go to the vet? Want to go to the vet? Come on, let's get you. Oh, let's have this off how to do this. Let's see.
David Espinosa, CM 303561.
Hi there, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Espinosa. It looks like you are here today to show proof of completion of certain conditions in exchange for a dismissal. It looks like you haven't completed everything yet. Have you turned your class in?
I have turned in my class and the essay, and I just need to complete my community service hours.
Tell me where you are. Have you started?
No, I have yet to. I mean, for the most part, I've sent in my information and applications to many places, but I think it's just because of COVID, they're not taking people in. But I got into one place just recently, but so far just that. And the person who replied to me just told me that they just started the job and were fixing everything that they're doing. So, but I have got to talk to them already. So.
All right. All right, so the prosecutor is not objecting to one more continuance. He says last chance for 16 hours of community service. How long do you think that's going to get you, or that's going to take you to get done?
I'll ask just for another month if possible.
All right, I'm going to give you 6 weeks just to be safe. If you don't have it done by then, you need to be prepared to decide how you want to go forward on your case.
Correct, thank you.
You're going to receive that next court date by email. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am, thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good rest of your day. Norma Utrera, EM 3241. Norma Utrera. Ms. Otrera, if you're here, I need you to push *6 to unmute.
Oh. Yes, yes, yes.
Hi, Norma Utrera, EM 3241.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed?
No.
You have a ticket here from March 15th for animal at large and animal attack. The prosecutor has indicated that if you plead guilty to the animal at large charge, he will dismiss the animal attack charge. He is leaving the sentence open to the court other than to ask that the court reserve restitution for a period of 91 days. Is this how you would like to resolve your case?
Yes.
Has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
No.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means you are giving up the right to have an attorney?
Yes.
Do you understand you're giving up the right to have a trial and have the city prove the case against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
Do you understand that you're giving up the right to confront witnesses called against you and the right to bring witnesses of your own?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that you're giving up the right to testify or to remain silent?
Yes.
And do you understand that you're giving up the right to appeal?
Yes, I do.
The maximum penalty that may be imposed against you is a fine of up to $2,650 and up to 364 days of jail. Do you understand that your guilty plea could affect any probation, parole, or immigration issue that you may be facing?
Yes.
The charge of animal running at large says no owner of any animal shall fail to keep such animal on the premises of the owner unless such animal is under the control of the owner under one of the following conditions. Number one, the animal is on a leash, cord, or chain no longer than 10 feet in length, held by a competent person who is physically able to control the animal and maintaining physical control of the animal, or within a vehicle or similarly confined enclosure to ensure the animal will not escape and without access to passersby. Do you understand the charge of animal at large?
Yes, I do.
And do you agree that you had an animal at large on March 15th, 2022 in the area of 60th and Hudson in Commerce City, Colorado?
Yes.
How do you plead to that charge, guilty or not guilty?
I plead guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea and I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Give me a few moments to review the charge or the report.
No, you're fine.
Well, punch drunk at this stage. Feels like it's 2 a.m. Just covered.
Ms. Utrera, do you know how your dog got out?
Yes, I actually got it on my doorbell camera. I don't know what led him to, but he ended up jumping out from the front fence. And I know that the neighbor was very helpful in this case also. She brought him back in. And again, he jumped out, and I guess that's when the supposed attack happened.
Gotcha. All right. Have you ever had a ticket like this before?
No, ma'am.
All right, give me one sec. Just need to look at the ordinance real quick. right, I'm not seeing any mandatory conditions that I need to impose. Tell me what you've done to make sure that he doesn't jump the fence again.
As of right now, we just have him on I don't remember the exact name of it, but it's like a pretty resistible cord that he's on. Right now, we are working on getting the fence a little taller. It's just been a little rough financially, but we're working on it.
Is he neutered?
Not yet. He just turned a year old here in February.
Okay. Do you have plans to get him neutered?
Yes.
Okay. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to impose a $600 fine. I'm going to suspend 500 of it. On condition that you complete the following conditions. Number one, you are to have no further animal control violations for 12 months. Number two, you are to provide proof of vaccination and neuter. And a microchip. Does he have a microchip?
No.
All right, so you can get that at your vet's office. The purpose of the microchip is that if he ever gets out again, we would know where to find the owner, especially since there was an allegation of an attack here. The court believes that that is an appropriate condition to impose. All right. I am going to give you about 90 days to get those things done.
Okay.
I am going to impose the standard court costs, which are $20, $9 fuel charge, and 30% surcharge. I will get you that total here momentarily. That comes to a total of $159 that you will owe. Are you able to pay that right away, or did you need a payment arrangement?
I would need a payment arrangement.
Okay. I'm going to give you a save execution on the payment of your fine and court costs until that review date. You are going to get all the information that you need sent to you by email. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Utera. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, you too, Your Honor.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Brian Carbajal. Hey there. Brian, do you have a hyphenated last? Nope, there it is. I just missed it. Brian Carbajal, EM 6199. Good afternoon. And who did you bring with you today? All right. Good afternoon, ma'am. And can I get your name for the record? Thank you, Ms. Andrade. Did you have any questions about your son's rights? All right, give me one sec. I'm opening up the ticket here. It looks like, Brian, you have a ticket here for harassment. This is alleged to have occurred on February 14th. The prosecutor is offering you what is called a deferred prosecution. What that means essentially is that we are going to be continuing your case for 6 months. During that 6 months, you are to have no new criminal violations. You are to abide by a restraining order for the benefit of Mr. Malloy, and you are waiving your right to a speedy trial. What that means is that if something happens and you don't complete your deferred prosecution, then the city would still have 91 days at the end of that 6 months to then have your trial. Do you have any questions about that? All right, and Mom, I'm sorry, can you tell me your name one more time? Lucilla Andrade, thank you. Mrs. Andrade, is this your understanding of the agreement as well? And is this what you believe that Brian should do? All right. Do you know Mr. Malloy's first name? Michael?
I think that was. Yes, I believe it's Mike.
Okay, thank you. All right. Again, the terms and conditions of your deferred prosecution. So you're not entering any plea today. We are continuing for 6 months. Are that you waive your right to speedy trial, which you've done. You're to have no further violations, and you are to abide by a restraining order for the benefit of Michael Malloy. That restraining order doesn't mean you can't be around him. You can still be in the same school or store or anywhere that you might see Mr. Malloy, but you cannot harass, molest, intimidate, retaliate against, or tamper with Mr. Malloy at any place he may be found. Do you understand this protection order? And do you understand the protection order, Ms. Andrade? All right, so I'm going to have you stop at the window. You are going to get a final review date, and you'll get the terms and conditions of your agreement. As long as you've done everything that you're supposed to do, you may not need to appear again on this case. Once it is dismissed, it would then be expunged, which means that you can legally say that the record does not exist. If you have not complied, you are ordered to appear at the end of the 6 months. Any questions about that? All right, go ahead and stop at the window. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Isaiah Larson, EM 303636, sorry, CM.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Larson. Any questions about the rights advisement video that you reviewed last time?
No, ma'am.
So it looks like you were here today to provide proof of completion of the terms and conditions that you and the prosecutor agreed to in exchange for dismissal. Tell me where you are in those things.
So with the community service, I got 3.5 hours done, but as I was talking to the district attorney too, that I didn't really have a lot of time to like plan it out and do that because I just started a new job and they were working me like crazy. So it was just really hard for me to find the time to try and do that. But yeah.
Okay. All right, it looks like there is $75 of restitution as well. So the things that you have to do is pay that $75, which is your share of the restitution, 16 hours community service, the Making Better Choices class, and the 300-word essay. You are to abide by the restraining order for the benefit of Josiah Martinez and for 11893 East 114th Place. Any questions about these requirements?
No. No, I don't.
All right, so you are going to get a reminder of all of those terms and conditions. We'll send you another email with all of those things. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Larson. Have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, you as well.
Thank you. So I'm basically ordering minute orders. I hope that's not bothering you. You have to let me know if you don't want me to do that anymore.
What is that?
I'm like ordering, I say defendant pro se, not completed pretrial requirements. CA has no objection to continuing for same terms and conditions as ordered on 3/3/22, continue 6 weeks.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I
Great.
completely understand.
Wonderful.
You'll probably have to talk to the other attorneys.
They'll be
I
like,
understand that.
what are you doing? Do I have Brian Sanchez Ceja, EM 15031?
Hello, Your Honor.
Hi there. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed?
No, no questions.
All right, and you have a ticket from March 8th for disorderly conduct. And do you have a parent with you today, Mr. Sanchez?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi there. Can I get your name for the record?
My name is Berta A. Ceja.
Thank you. Mrs. Ceja, do you have any questions about your son's rights?
No.
All right, Mr. Sanchez, it looks like yourself and the prosecutor have come to an agreement to continue your case in order to give you time to complete certain terms and conditions in exchange for a dismissal of your case. The conditions are that you have that you complete 16 hours of community service. You would complete the violence is preventable class and write a 300-word essay about what you've learned in the class. You are to have no further violations during the time that your case is open. You are to abide by a restraining order for the benefit of Jossie Hernandez Guerra. No, Garica. And Serafin Gonzalez Machoro. Is this your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if you comply with this agreement or you do everything that you're supposed to do, then at the end, your case will be dismissed. It would then become expunged, which means you can legally say that the record does not exist.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you don't abide by your agreement, then the prosecutor can still prosecute this case against you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mrs. Ceja, is this
Yes.
what you believe that your son should do?
Yes.
All right. So we are going to send you an email, Brian, that has information on your community service. There will be a form that needs to be filled out for whoever that you work for. And your community service needs to be done at a nonprofit organization like church, school, Goodwill, animal shelter, or a food bank, something like that. You'll sign up for the class, and it is your responsibility to print out and provide proof of completion of the certificate and the 300-word essay about what you've learned in the class. Any questions about that?
When you said something about my work, do I have to show, are you saying I have to show the paperwork to my job?
No. For whoever you do the work, the community service work for.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Yeah. And then the last thing the third thing is you are to have no criminal violations. The fourth thing is you are to abide by a restraining order for the benefit of Jossie Hernandez Garrica and Serafine Gonzalez Machoro. I am ordering that you not harass, molest, intimidate, retaliate against, or tamper with any witness to or victim of the acts you are charged with committing. Do you understand this protection order?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, any violation of the protection order could result in this agreement being taken away from you, and it could also result in a new charge being filed. Do you have any questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
Mrs. Seja, do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you both for your patience. Have a good rest of your day.
You
as well.
too. Thank you.
Thank you, bye-bye. All right, well, I'm waiting. Jade Gonzalez, EM 15047.
Yes.
Hi, Ms. Gonzalez. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement video or form that you reviewed? Ms. Gonzalez, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, sorry. No, ma'am.
All right, and you have a ticket here for theft and false reporting. This is alleged to have occurred on March 25th, 2022. It looks like you have spoken to the prosecutor. He has indicated that if you plead guilty to the false reporting charge, he would dismiss the theft charge. He is leaving the sentence up to the court, other than to ask that the court issue a no contact order for the benefit of Walmart. Is this your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this how you would like to resolve your case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that pleading guilty today means that you are giving up the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you're giving up the right to have a trial and have the city prove the case against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you're giving up the right to confront witnesses called against you and the right to bring witnesses of your own?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you are giving up the right to testify or to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you're giving up the right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
The maximum penalty that may be imposed against you is a fine of up to $2,650 and up to 364 days of jail. Do you understand that your guilty plea could affect any probation, parole, or immigration issue that you may be facing?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever served in the U.S. military?
No, ma'am.
Let me read to you the charge. One moment. The charge says it shall be unlawful for any person to knowingly make or to file with the city or any fire district within the city any false or misleading statement or report concerning any real or alleged fire, crime, or emergency. Do you understand the charge you're pleading guilty to?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you agree that you provided false information on March 25th, 2022 at 5990 Dahlia Street in Commerce City, Colorado?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to that charge, guilty or not guilty?
I plead guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea and I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you would like me to know about your case before I impose the fine?
Just that it's a mistake that I did commit and that I now I'm learning from. And I'm sorry for, having to be here and use up the court's time.
Thank you. All right, give me 1 moment to review the report. All right, why were you giving the officers the name of Jorge Garcia?
This is my brother, and he was antagonizing me at first about using a credit card that was mine, and I did it just because I wanted to be smart ass to him, I guess, maybe.
You know, that could have led you to a felony offense.
Yeah, I really realize that now.
Yeah. Don't want to be messing around with criminal impersonation.
Yeah.
Okay, one moment. I'm just going to look at your criminal history. Are you on probation out of Thornton right now or on a suspended sentence?
I don't think so anymore. I think it's over with.
Okay. All right. Ms. Gonzalez, I'm going to impose a $300 fine. There are $20 of court costs, $9 fuel charge, and a 30% surcharge. 1 moment and I will tell you that total. I am ordering that you abide by a no contact order for the benefit of Walmart at 5990 Dahlia Street for the next 12 months.
Okay.
The total that you owe is $419. Are you able to pay that today?
No, ma'am.
All right, so I'll make a note here that you do need payment arrangements.
Thank you.
You'll get an email from my clerk about those payment arrangements. Do you have any questions?
No, thank you so very much.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you as well.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Oscar Hernandez, EM 105032.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Hernandez. And who did you bring with you today?
I brought my mom.
Hi there. Ma'am, ¿cuál es su nombre?
Ana Casillas.
Ms. Casillas, ¿necesita intérprete?
Sí.
Okay. Unfortunately, we do not have an interpreter here today. No tenemos un intérprete hoy. Necesita una fecha diferente con intérprete.
Okay.
So Oscar, my clerk is going to send you an email with a new court date in there where we have an interpreter. I'm very sorry that we don't have someone available today, but we will have someone available at your next court date. Do you have any questions?
Is it possible to do it without an interpreter?
Only if your mom understands enough English to get through a legal rights advisement and a plea discussion with the prosecutor.
¿Le puedes interpretar? ¿Sabes lo que está diciendo? She said, yeah.
Well, I heard you just ask her in Spanish.
Yeah.
She needs to be able to understand everything in English. And there are a lot of different legal terms and things that are important that she really understands. So I think it's appropriate to continue the case for the interpreter. I know that that's not really convenient, but when it comes to convenience versus protecting your rights, Oscar, I want to make sure that we protect your rights.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we're going to give you that new court date. We can still do virtual. We do our interpreters virtual if you want to do that. You'll get that next court date in your email.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good rest of your day.
You too, Your Honor.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Aiden Moore, EM 10666.
Hello.
Hi there. Did you have any questions about your rights advisement?
No, ma'am.
And who did you bring with you today?
My mother and my father.
Hi there. Can I get your names for the record?
Good afternoon, Tanya Moore.
Sterling Moore.
Thank you. And did either of you have any questions about your son's rights?
No.
No, Your Honor.
All right. And it looks like you have a ticket here, Aiden, for careless driving. That's a 4-point violation. That's from March 3rd. The prosecutor is offering to reduce your ticket to a 1-point charge of driving with a defective headlight on condition that you complete the Alive at 25 driving class. Would you like to accept this offer?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. and Mrs. Moore, is this what you believe that your son should do?
Yes.
Your Honor.
All right. Aiden, has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
No.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means you are giving up all of the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to the 1-point charge of driving with a defective headlight on March 3rd, 2023 at 117th and Chambers in Commerce City, Colorado?
Guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea and find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Give me one moment to look at the accident report. All right. Have you ever had a ticket before?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Is there anything that you would like me to know before I impose the fine?
Yes, ma'am. I was near an aggressive driver that was giving me gestures and refusing to allow me to merge. And every time I would try to get past this driver, he would like meet my speed or would brake to prevent me from getting over. And I was in fear for my safety. And I was focusing more so trying to like protect myself, in which the driver in front of me made a very quick right turn.
Gotcha. And then you hit the back of him.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, I wish, Aiden, that I could tell you that's the last time you're going to encounter an aggressive driver, but it's probably going to happen daily, weekly. It's going to continue to happen. So really just getting some more experience and how to deal with those situations, being aware of that person and all the rest of the traffic. Unfortunately, people are oftentimes just jerks out on the road. So I'm sorry that you had to deal with that. I'm glad everybody was okay. I do find that this plea agreement is appropriate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to impose a fine, but suspend part of the fine on condition that you complete the Alive at 25 driving class.
Okay.
I'm imposing a $280 fine and suspending 200 of it. Normally, the fine would be about 200 on this kind of case, potentially 160, depending on the kind of damage. So I'm cutting you a break on the fine because you do have to pay for the class and because it is your first ticket. So the part of the fine that you will have to pay is $80. There are $20 of court costs, a $9 fuel charge, and a 30% surcharge. So that comes to a total of $133. You're going to get that information by email. You're also going to get the information on the Alive at 25. You can either complete that class in person or online. If you choose the online class, you'll need to make sure that you click on the Colorado link to make sure that you take the right class. Any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
It is your responsibility to make sure that you get your proof of completion of the class and pay the fine before the next court date. Otherwise, you will need to appear on that court date so that you can request more time. If you fail to appear and fail to provide those things, then the part of the fine that I'm suspending could become owing against you. Any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
Mr. and Mrs. Moore, any questions?
How much time does he have to take the class?
They usually give about 45 to 60 days.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Is he considered on some type of probation while he's trying to do this class? Okay.
No, it's a suspended sentence. So there's no probation. There's no requirement for no new tickets. Just complete the class so that I don't impose the suspended part of the fine.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Anything else? Thank you guys. Have a good rest of your day.
You as
Thank
well.
you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Andrew Contreras-Garay, EM 15034.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hi there. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement video that you watched or form that you reviewed?
No,
All right. And who did you bring with you today?
I'm with my mom.
Hi there. Can I get your name for the record?
It's Adriana Garay.
Adriana?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Garay, did you have any questions about your son's rights?
No, no for the moment.
All right. Thank you. One moment. All right. Mr. Contreras, you have a ticket here for disorderly conduct. This is from March 8th. You and the prosecutor have come to an agreement to continue your case to give you time to complete certain conditions in exchange for dismissal of your case. Those conditions are that you complete 16 hours of community service, a one-day violence is preventable class, and write a 300-word essay about what you've learned in the class. You are to have no further violations during the time that your case is open, and you are to abide by a protection order, a restraining order for the benefit of Jossie Hernandez Garica and Serafin Gonzalez Machoro. Is this your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mrs. Garay, is this your understanding of the agreement?
Yes.
And is this what you believe that your son should do?
Yes.
All right, so what we're going to do, Andrew, is we are going to continue your case for you to have time to complete all of these requirements. Again, 16 hours of community service, which must be done at a nonprofit organization like church or school or food bank or soup kitchen. You are to complete a one-day violence is preventable class and write a 300-word essay about what you've learned in the class. It is your responsibility to provide completion forms for the community service, the class, and the essay. You need to have those turned in before your next court date. As long as you have done that and you have no new violations and you've abided by the protection order, then on that next court date, your case is going to get dismissed. If you need more time, we can give you more time if you show up to court, but hopefully you'll be completed and your case will be dismissed. It would then be expunged.
Okay.
If you do not complete your agreement, then the prosecutor can continue to prosecute the case against you. Do you have any questions about that?
No questions.
All right, so I want you to be on the lookout for the email with all the information that you need. Have a good rest of your day and thank you for your patience.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Serafin Gonzalez Machoro, EM 15035.
Yeah, hello?
Hi there, sir. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement?
No,
And who did you bring with you today?
my mom.
Hi, ma'am, ¿cuál es su nombre?
Carla Machorro.
Carla?
Machorro.
Thank you. Señora Machorro, ¿necesita intérprete?
Sí, por favor.
Ok. No tenemos un intérprete hoy, entonces necesita una fecha diferente.
Okay.
Serafin, you are going to get an email with your next court date where we have an interpreter available. You and your mom will both need to appear again on that date. We can continue to do virtual if that's how you would like to do it. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right. Thank you. And my apologies for the wait.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. So.
Oh, it's fine. I kept track well in the morning, but the afternoon, not so much with all the shuffling happening. Actually, I did speak to an Andrew. Was that? Let me see which one that was. I did speak to Andrew Contreras-Garay. Yeah. But, or continued for pretrial. Yeah.
I'm a good person.
Sorry.
Is this normal to have this many criminal cases on today?
Well, the problem is too, is like some of them are complicated and also, the morning people who never show up, all of a sudden they're showing up.
Yeah.
This is a little abnormal at this point.
Hello, Your Honor. Not supposed to, well, I registered for this week, but I had my pretrial was last week, and I didn't get the email to like let me know when my next pretrial was, so I had missed it last week. So that's why I'm here today.
Did we get Mr. Okay, so we know you're here, Mr. Key, and the prosecutor will see you today.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
It's much quieter.
Crystal Vasquez, EM 6716.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Hi, Ms. Vasquez. Any questions about the rights advisement video or form that you reviewed?
No, Your Honor, I totally understand.
All right, you have a ticket here for theft, which is alleged to have occurred on March 19th. Yourself and the prosecutor have come to an agreement to continue your case to give you time to complete certain conditions in exchange for dismissal of your case. Those conditions are that you complete a one-day petty theft class. You are to have no further violations during the time that your case is open, and you are to abide by a no contact order for the benefit of Walmart. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
You're welcome. And do you understand that if you comply with this agreement, then the prosecutor will dismiss your case? But if you fail to comply, the prosecutor can still go forward on the case against you.
Yes, Your Honor, totally understand.
The prosecutor has indicated that if you complete your agreement by sending in proof of the class, you will not need to appear at your next pretrial conference date. We can dismiss it without you being here since you live in New Mexico.
Yes, Your Honor, totally understand. Thank you.
All right. So one moment.
And this will all be sent to my email and I can do it online, correct, Your Honor?
Yes, it will.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. So what we're going to do is continue your case for about 2 months for you to complete that class and provide proof of the certificate of completion back to the court. You are to have no further violations and you are to abide by a no contact order, which means you are excluded from the property at the Walmart location at 5990 Dahlia Street in Commerce City, Colorado. Any questions about these agreements?
No, Your Honor, sorry. Just understand from hearing from the other courts that all gets into my email and then proceed from there, correct?
You got it.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You as well. Thankfully, I don't have volleyball on Thursdays, Tuesdays, and
Do
Fridays.
this all day tomorrow, too. All right.
Whew.
Can you move him?
He's here. Nicholas Hobbs, EM 4703.
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Hobbs. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement video or form that you reviewed?
No.
All right, one moment, and I'm opening your case. It looks like you have a ticket here for theft. This is from March 5th, 2022. The prosecutor has indicated that if you plead guilty to that charge, he is leaving the sentencing up to the court, other than to ask the court to issue a no contact order for the benefit of Walmart. Is this how you would like to proceed today?
Yes.
Has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
No.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means you are giving up the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yep.
Do you understand that you're giving up the right to have a trial and have the city prove the case against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you're giving up the right to confront witnesses called against you and the right to bring witnesses of your own?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you're giving up the right to testify or to remain silent?
Yes, I understand.
Do you understand that you're giving up the right to appeal?
Yes.
The maximum penalty that may be imposed against you is a fine of up to $2,650 and up to 364 days of jail. Do you understand that your guilty plea could affect any probation, parole, or immigration issue that you may be facing?
Yes.
The charge of theft says it's unlawful to knowingly obtain or exercise control over anything of value of another without authorization or by threat or deception with the intent to with the intent to permanently deprive them of the use or benefit of the thing of value, and that thing of value is less than $2,000. Do you understand the charge of theft?
Yes.
Do you agree that you committed the crime of theft on March 5th, 2022 at 5990 Dahlia Street in Commerce City, Colorado?
Yes.
How do you plead to the charge?
Guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea and I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Mr. Hobbs, give me one moment to review the report.
All right.
All right. Is there anything that you'd like me to know about your case before I impose the sentence?
No.
All right. Were you not working at the time, or why did you decide to do this, Mr. Hobbs?
I just didn't have the money for my ankle monitor charger, and it kept on going off saying it was going to die. And I was trying to comply the best I could at the time. And I had to do what I had to do. And I know it wasn't the right decision, and I'm just ready to pay whatever consequence that came with it. And that's that.
All right. Are you on probation or anything right now?
No, just pretrial.
All right. And you're on intensive supervision?
No.
You're not on the monitor anymore?
Well, I'm on the monitor, but I'm not on intensive supervision.
So are you on the monitor as part of a sentence or as part of pretrial?
Just part of pretrial.
Okay. All right, Mr. Hobbs, what I'm going to do is I'm going to impose 15 days of jail. I will suspend 15 days on condition that you have no further violations for 12 months.
All right.
And that you not go to the Walmart location.
Okay.
I'm imposing a no contact order for the Walmart at 5990 Dahlia Street.
Okay.
I am imposing a $150 fine.
All right.
There are $20 of court costs. There is a $9 surcharge and a $9 appeal charge, 30% surcharge. One moment, and I will tell you that total. That comes to a total of $224. Are you able to pay that today, Mr. Hobbs?
No,
All right, I'll make a note that you do need a payment arrangement. Do you have any questions?
no, I don't.
So you will receive an email that has all of your sentencing requirements, including how to set up those payment arrangements.
Right
Thank
on.
you for your
Thank you.
patience today and have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, I apologize for being late too.
Better late than never, Mr. Hobbs. Thank you.
Right on. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, Sean Key, EM 14017.
Hi, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Key. So it looks like the prosecutor has indicated that you are in compliance with the agreement that you made with him. So he is moving to dismiss your case today.
Yes, ma'am.
I will grant that motion to dismiss. Your case is now eligible for sealing, which means that you would need to file a petition and pay a $65 sealing fee. But if you do that, the court will order the sealing, and then you could legally say that this record does not exist. Any questions about that?
No, ma'am. Oh, actually, well, how would I do that?
So you'll, is our petition to seal online? You can find the motion to seal online. You'll
Okay.
file that and pay the $65 fee. There's no time limit, so you can do that until, well, we keep records for only a few years, so make sure that you do it within the next year or two.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
as soon as you file that, we'll process it.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. Have a good rest of your day. Oh, I'm quashing the warrant and waiving the warrant fee.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You have a nice day also.
Thank you, Mr. Key. You too. Say what?
He was our last person.
Oh, what about Ms. Vasquez?
Crystal Vasquez?
Ms. Vasquez, you need to join the breakout room with the prosecutor so that he can talk to you about your case.
I'm sorry, there's one more. Okay. You are in the right room. They just have not gone in there.
Ms. Vasquez, can you hear me? She's not joined by audio. It's her. She's not joined by audio. Yeah, we have to. Oh, I need to finish these. For which one? Crystal Vasquez? I knew that name sounded familiar. What does it say?
Yeah, you set it over for a pretrial.
Yeah, I knew her name sounded, maybe it's just stuck in there. We're good, Mr. Collin. All right, court's in recess.